gather.
Forgot to turn it off. Sicko Nation! Gather round, ladies and gentlemen. On Easter Sunday, we watched a Sixers versus Toronto Raptors game. No Joel Embiid, no Tyrese Maxey, no Scotty Barnes, no RJ Barrett, no Emmanuel Quickly. Nobody was playing in this game. And only absolute sickos were taking the time to watch it. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll be up here for maybe 45 to an hour. I'm going to say this again. I say it all the time. Any Sixers victory without Joel Embiid is worthy of a celebration. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Any Sixers victory without Joel Embiid and without Tyrese Maxey is worthy of a celebration. It doesn't matter who they're playing, because this is the team that we watched a couple weeks ago couldn't score 15 points in the first quarter. So that's progress. It does help that it was the Toronto Raptors without anybody on the squad. I mean, they got a guy named Freedom Liberty out there, bro. That's a car insurance company. Liberty Bibbity for 3. Shout out to Lee Dabrowski for that one. Yeah, we're going to get into everything there is to get into. I got some things I want to say about Kelly Oubre, of course, and Cameron Payne, of course, and Tobias Harris, and I got some things I want to say. This is brought to you by BetUS. Thank you for BetUS. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. Use the link in my description. Go to BetUS.com. You'll get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gamblers insurance. 125% deposit bonus up to $2,500. I'm showing you right here the women's basketball right now, March Madness. There you go. You got Utah versus Indiana State. You got, wait, I'm not on the what am I on, bro? Hold on. I'm not on the women's. What did I click on? You see here at the top, bro, you can bet on everything. You can bet on Brazilian soccer if you want to. Oh, that's the men's. My bad. I wanted to show you guys the women's, man. Yeah, there we go. We got LSU versus Iowa tomorrow night. That's a big one. You know what I mean? There's the numbers there, and the odds boosts and the custom parlays and the pre-made parlays. And check it out, man. If you're not using BetUS, you should be. So use my link in the description. Use the promo code JOIN125, and they're giving you a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,500, 10% gamblers insurance. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. Let's get down to business. Yeah. Sixers win 135 to 120. And listen, all right, you scored 135 points without Tyrese Maxey. That's a great thing. I predicted right off the top, I was like, you know, we were kind of making jokes in the stream. Is Tobias Harris going to step up? And I said, no, dude. Kelly Oubre is going to lead the team in scoring. Tobias Harris gave you 21, though. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he had a terrible game. But I was like, I predicted Kelly Oubre to go for 27 in this game. I was like, you know what? He had a bad game last game. He was 2 for 12, whatever it was. It was a terrible Kelly Oubre game. Last game, he was so bad in the first quarter. Nick Nurse took him out of the game and put Ricky Council in the game in the first quarter. So I said, Kelly, he ain't having 2 of those games in a row. And he came out here and just attacked and attacked and attacked. The thing that stands out and the thing that's a really good sign for Kelly Oubre is the 3-point shooting in this game, you know, because he started the season super hot from 3, right? And we were like, all these people said Kelly Oubre can't shoot. You know, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then he cooled off as the season went on and looked more like a 30% 3-point shooter. So people have been saying, we've been saying, it'd be nice for Kelly to get his three-point shot back a little bit. And he did that in this game. He was 6 for 11 from three. He had back-to-back-to-back threes in the first quarter. He had a damn heat check that he airballed, but we don't care because you just keep attacking Kelly Oubre. He's just such a tough player. He plays the game so hard. He puts his body on the line. I mean, he got body slammed in the first quarter. Well, he got his legs cut out from behind in the first quarter, landed on his hip, hit the floor so hard. I mean, Ben Simmons would have been out for his career if that happened to him, you know what I mean? Tobias Harris probably would have missed 30 games on that one, you know? Now, Kelly Oubre, man, this guy just last week hit his face on the floor and came back in the game. Sat out one game, the next game with concussion symptoms, and said, you know what, I'm playing. I don't even care, bro. I'm playing the next game. Ain't no concussion protocol in Kelly Oubre's world. This game, he gets his leg taken out from behind on a dunk attempt, lands really hard. I mean, I thought he broke his wrist. We thought he was really hurt, man. He was laying on the floor for a minute. He's just a tough one, man. You got to love it. And it's unbelievable, really, that a vet minimum player who was signed at the very end of the offseason, it wasn't even in the cards. It wasn't even in the plans. We don't know what the plan was. It was the weirdest, worst offseason I think I've ever seen. Daryl Morey had no plan whatsoever but to try to, write love letters to James Harden to pray for him to come back. Very last second, he signs Kelly Oubre, who almost didn't even get signed to an NBA team because of his efficiency numbers in Charlotte, which, again, is why you shouldn't look at efficiency numbers and draw conclusions on a player. So Nick Nurse out here, he's just getting so much out of Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre, is this a career year for Kelly Oubre? Playing in games like this where, he gets to be out there. Maxey takes the night off because you're playing in Toronto. The game doesn't matter. It's Easter Sunday. Enjoy your Easter, Tyrese. You've been dragging this team full of just one-legged soldiers with no weapons across a battlefield for months now. Enjoy your Easter. Take the game off. They listed him with a sore hip or whatever. And Kelly Oubre goes out there and is straight up the number one option. And he made a comment about Nick Nurse, and he said, I always attack the rim. It's how I've always played, but under Nick, he's really encouraging me to do it more. And I just think you just got to credit Nick Nurse for what he's doing with this team right now, man. I saw a stat today that Sixers are like number one in the NBA in steal rate and deflection rate. And it's just this team without Joel. In the beginning, we knew they were going to lose a lot of games, and they did lose a lot of games. We expected that, even with Tyrese Maxey out there. Games without Tyrese and Joel, they have no business having a comfortable win over anybody, even if it is the Toronto Raptors, who, again, have a guy named Freedom Liberty out there who was just playing in the YMCA 6 hours ago, and they were like, hey, we need somebody on the court. Here's a jersey. You're in the game, Freedom Liberty. Shout out to that guy, though, for, hey, man, you're in the NBA, right? Good stuff. Living his dream, man. Libbity bibbity. Yeah, so shout out to Kelly Oubre, man. Just an unbelievable signing, and he should be the, outside of Tyrese Maxey getting a max contract that's going to happen, obviously, even though there is some weird haters in the comments from time to time. Kelly Oubre, I think, should be a high priority this offseason. I think Kelly Oubre should be a high priority this offseason. Do you guys agree with that? The Sixers should absolutely prioritize Kelly Oubre this offseason because they have not had a player that just attacks with reckless abandon, who actually has some length, athleticism, skill in literally years. I mean, this team's been full of soft divas for so long. And they haven't had a wing like this in so long, and he fits perfectly. And even going back to the beginning of the season with Tyrese and Joel, and he just fits in perfectly. He's exactly what you hoped Tobias Harris would have been. Yeah. He's what you hoped Tobias Harris would have been, and he is that. I glanced at the chat, and it's distracted me because I think there's a troll in there. Do I have any mods in here? Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here! Hey, 312 sickos in here, man. Do me a favor, for even being here on Easter Sunday, close out the chat one time. Give me 312 likes. That's how we're going to push this stream out to more and more viewers and get up over 500 or 600. Again, I love you guys. Thanks for doing that consistently, okay? Tobias Harris. Let's put the stats on the screen, okay? Let's do that. We'll look at the stats. We'll see what we have to say about it. That's BetUS still. See, I'm using StreamYard still because the PC's still in the workshop. I think we'll get that back this week. That'll be nice because I'm working off of a laptop and StreamYard, and it's not what I'm comfortable with, and it's annoying. Yeah, check it out, man. There we go. Yeah. Tobias Harris, 21 points, 8 for 13, 1 for 3 from three-point range. Good game, Tobias. Good game. I'm happy about it. I predicted, being the super duper. Oh my God. All right, let's see. Ban user and delete their comments. Yeah. There we go. See you later, weirdo. Yeah, what was I saying? I gotta stop. I gotta stop reading the chat, bro. Okay, not reading the chat anymore. I apologize to listeners that are like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Stop reading the chat and get back to the show. We're back. We're not reading the chat anymore. It's full of weirdos, okay? Well, it's full of sick. I love you guys. But there's like 1 or 2 weirdos. And we had to get rid of them. Okay, Tobias Harris. Yeah, I predicted in this game, being the super duper Tobias Harris hater that I am, I said, no Joel Embiid, no Tyrese Maxey. Tobias Harris, step-up game. Last time this happened, he was 5 for 20 for like 9 points in 40 minutes and got outperformed by Ricky Council the fourth. So I was like, nah, he's not going to step up. As soon as the pressure's the highest, he's going to stink up the joint. But he played a good game. Tobias Harris played a good game. Let's give him his flowers. Where are we at? 4. No, right here. Yeah, good job, Tobias. We're happy that you didn't crumble. We're happy that you didn't crumble in this one, okay? It helps that you were playing, Grady, Dick, and Freedom, Liberty, Bibbity. But you gave us 21 points, so I can't slander you too much for that. I did see you shying away from contact sometimes. I saw you had Grady in the post late in the game. You had Grady one-on-one right where you want him, and you passed the ball. You were playing soft, don't get me wrong, but you gave us 21, okay? Good job, Tobias. Thank you for stepping up. We appreciate that. 21 points. Kyle Lowry, playing back in Toronto, not going to allow a loss. There was no way Kyle Lowry was coming back here against the Raptors G League team and losing. And, Kyle, man, he was out there taking charges. He had 10 assists. He only scored 11, but he had 11 points. He had 10 assists. Opens the game with a Mo Bamba alley-oop again. I like that. Just doing Kyle Lowry things, veteran leadership, a couple of big clutch buckets down the stretch from Kyle Lowry in front of the Toronto crowd. Shout out to Kyle. Cameron Payne was absolutely cooking once again. I am blown away by the Cameron Payne trade. I didn't know the guy was still in the NBA. I remembered seeing him in the Phoenix Suns a couple of years ago. And I used to say, that Cameron Payne and somebody else on the Phoenix Suns, when I thought the Phoenix Suns were deep and were contenders a couple of years ago, I used to talk about Cameron Payne, and I used to say, the Sixers don't have a guy off the bench like a Cameron Payne. And now you have that guy. I think he started. Him and Lowry both started. But he's just, what do they call him? A microwave scorer, a Swiss Army knife. What do you want to call Cameron Payne, man? He just goes out there with this level of confidence that's just, it's unbelievable. And he just attacks relentlessly. His sideways left-handed Lonzo Ball shot is wild, but it's money. There was a point in this game where he was just like, he couldn't miss. Cameron Payne, man. You traded Patrick Beverley for this guy. Patrick Beverley stinks. Let's keep it a buck like a dollar store. Yeah, we like the vibes. We liked his energy. We liked his trash talk. He fits good in Philly, all that stuff. But let's talk about the on-court product. Cameron Payne is miles better than Patrick Beverley. And we lacked so much scoring off the bench all of this season and every season, really. But our bench, again, was terrible this season. And I have to credit Daryl Morey for at least going into the trade deadline and saying, I'm not going to trade my favorite player of all time, Tobias Harris. But I will at least try to make some moves to improve this bench, which was the worst bench in the NBA this season before the trade deadline. So I got to give Daryl Morey his props for trading Patrick Beverley for Cameron Payne, because Philly loved Patrick Beverley. And, the fact that Daryl Morey thinks fans are stupid and doesn't care what they say worked to his benefit this time, because he was like, I don't care what the fans say. I'm trading Patrick Beverley for Cameron Payne. And it was a good trade. And Cameron Payne, the Sixers break the record for made threes in a game, their own franchise record of 23 threes. And Cameron Payne, lo and behold, is the one that hits it towards the end of the game to break the record, giving him 24 made threes. You got to love it. And I know this team is a roller coaster ride. And I know it's ups and downs, man. And some games without Joel, it looks like the worst roster in the entire NBA. But I just have to give Nick Nurse credit, because then there's games like this. It helps, again, that you're playing Libbity Bibbity and Grady Dick. But if you can imagine Joel Embiid coming back and playing at a high level with Cameron Payne playing like this, Kelly Oubre playing like this, Kyle Lowry being a veteran presence off the bench. Maybe he starts, maybe he doesn't. I don't know what Nick Nurse is going to do. I think he's going to start him, actually. Tyrese Maxey, stud, all-star. What are you going to do when Embiid comes back? Guys, you can't trap Maxey at half court anymore. So his little hater trolls can come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, he only scored 9 points. He was 7 for 20. He was getting freaking trapped at half court the whole game. What are you going to do when Joel comes back, man? Someone's in trouble. Someone's in trouble, man. Buddy Hield, man. Let's talk about Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield has stunk it up for a while now. Since he was absolutely cooking right after the trade deadline. I think just this Philly crowd, man, it really gets to players when they first get here, and the vibes are so high, and shooting a ball and scoring is so much confidence and comfortability has so much to do with it, and vibes just kind of make the ball go in. Buddy Hield is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, maybe the best movement shooter in the NBA, percentage-wise and attempts per game-wise. And so he was balling beginning of the season, right? Then he has a little bit of a fall-off. And he lost his confidence a little bit, man. I saw last game, I watched him pump fake a wide-open one. And I think Nurse probably showed him the film, and he probably said, why aren't you shooting this, man? Look what we had last year. We had Pump Fake PJ. I named him Pump Fake PJ because he was supposed to be a corner three-point specialist, and he was pump faking wide open threes the entire season. And Doc Rivers continued to start him, continued to play him 40 minutes a game, and never told him once, hey, why the hell are you pump faking wide open threes? Shoot the damn ball. We finally have a coach that's looking at players and saying, hey, what are you doing? Shoot the ball. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is I think that I see the team get a little bit off track, get derailed at times, and you have a coach that's going in the lab and doing everything he possibly can to try to straighten it out, you know? And so it was nice to see Buddy Hield get his confidence back. 5 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from three-point range, 13 points for Buddy Hield. Nicholas Batum. Listen, who threw the alley-oop to him in the first half? NASCAR? Jeff Doughton Jr.? Jeff Doughton Jr. coming around turn 3. Jeff Doughton Jr. gets a steal and throws an alley-oop to 49-year-old Nicholas Batum. And he laid it in. I don't think his tippy toes came off the court. His vertical is 0. But he still scored. And, you know, he was 5 for 6 from three-point range, Nico Batum was, man. And I feel like every time the Raptors cut it to 9, 11, you know, they were hanging around. They were being annoying. Every time we went up 16, they cut it back down to 9 or 11. I feel like Nicholas Batum hit a big-time 3 every time that happened. And Nicholas Batum, again, has stunk since Joel Embiid's been out, you know, and at times in certain games has looked completely useless. He looks like he's looked like a 7-foot PJ Tucker for some of these games, you know? So I think a silver lining in this game is definitely some guys getting their confidence back. Nicholas Batum and Buddy Hield, 2 of them, because when Joel comes back, quite obviously they are going to be big-time pieces, and we're going to need them to be confident and to be catch-and-shoot specialists. So you got Buddy Hield, you got Cameron Payne, you got Nicholas Batum, you got the team around Joel Embiid actually has catch-and-shoot guys, actually has guys that can catch the ball off of a Joel Embiid kickout from a quadruple team, and they can shoot the 3, and they can hit the 3 at a high percentage. And they got some combo skills. They can do some things on the perimeter. You know, when people argue Joel Embiid can't lead a team in the playoffs, he always folds in the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every year, at least what I feel like. Now, I might be a homer. I might be a Joel Embiid apologist. I don't know. But every time I feel like Joel Embiid gets let down by the rest of his team, I feel like he's always playing through injury in the playoffs, giving 120,000% on one leg with a broken face and a dislocated thumb and whatever else it is, and nobody else ever steps up. So I do feel like this team has the best chance to actually step up when Joel Embiid gets quadruple teamed in the playoffs. And the only real elephant in the room is Tobias Harris. But I think, you know what the thing about Tobias is, man? He's overpaid. We know that. He's never going to play like a max contract player. We know that. He's not going to step up in the playoffs when you need him. We know that. Daryl refused to trade him because he wants the cap space, because he thinks he's signing Paul George. I think you have at least put good enough players on the roster that it doesn't matter if Tobias Harris stinks up the joint. You didn't want to trade him, but at least he's not going to be relied upon. He's just a guy who's there. I don't like when they force plays through him. I don't like when he dribbles 20 seconds off the shot clock just to pass the ball out, when it makes somebody else do something with no time on the clock. I mean, but, you know, the number 3 on this team is Kelly Oubre. The number 4 on this team might be Cameron Payne. The number 5 on this team might be Buddy Hield. Tobias might be number 6. Might be number 6, man. That's how you survive Tobias Harris. You make him the 6th option, and you say, listen, we paid you this money. We owe you this money. There's nothing we can do about it. Just, you know, give us 15 if you give us 15. Give us 10 if you give us 10. We don't care anymore. Kelly Oubre out there drops 32. I thought he had 35. Guess he had 32. Yeah, let's look at the standings, man. The Sixers were 1.5 games behind the Miami Heat. And Miami played today, and they won against, just our luck, they're playing the damn Washington Wizards, you know. So Miami wins, so we're still 1.5 games behind the 7th seed. It would be nice. It would be nice to end up in at least in that 7th seed and have home court advantage in that play-in game against Miami if that's how it shakes out. We got 7-8 games left, I think. Joel might be back in 2 days, guys. Joel might be back in 2 days. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude. Do you have any idea how unbearable I'm going to be? I don't even know if I like can't even breathe thinking about it. Is that weird? Whenever Joel gets hurt, it's like he's a mythological creature. It's like you can't actually imagine him being back out on the floor. Oh, my goodness. If Joel comes back, we might be the 6th seed. If Joel comes back and he's, you know, in the practice video, he looked healthy. The conditioning is what's going to be a question. And if he comes back and his conditioning's not there yet, but he still gives you 75% of what he was doing, yeah, we might be able to jump Indiana and avoid the play-in tournament. But look at the standings. Do you want to do that? That's been my question too, man. Do you want to do that? Do you want to be the 6th seed and play the New York Knicks? Or do you want the 7th seed and play the Milwaukee Bucks? What's the answer in the chat, bro? What's the answer in the chat, guys? Do you want the Bucks or the Knicks in the first round of the NBA playoffs? Bucks or Knicks? Bucks or Knicks? Bucks. 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 Give me Bucks. Yeah, Za, what up, my dude? Member of the channel. Active in the Discord every day. Thanks for being here, buddy. I want Doc Rivers on us. I want Doc Rivers' head on a stick. Just imagine. That might even be sweeter than upsetting the Celtics in round 1. You fire Doc Rivers after 3 years of turmoil. Somehow, some way, the Bucks hire this guy. And you face him in the first round? Oh, you can't write a better story than that. Off with his head. So, yeah, I don't think I want to jump up to the 6th seed, man. Because I don't like the New York Knicks. I don't like the matchup. I don't like the depth. I don't like their physicality. And with Joel Embiid coming back from knee surgery, do you remember that first round against that Brooklyn Nets team, man? And they were straight body slamming this guy. That's what the Knicks are going to do to us if we see them in the first round. So we're taking the Bucks. Bucks #1 fan is in the chat. He said, Bucks would whip y'all. Do you mind explaining to us how any type of elaboration would be appreciated there. Or you can just blindly believe that the most overrated coach in NBA history and Damian Lillard, who can't play any defense at this point in his career, Mr. Run and Dunk, leads the league in travel calls. Somebody tried to argue the other day that Giannis doesn't get away with traveling. He leads the league in travels call. And I said, doesn't that just tell you how much he actually travels? I ain't scared of Mr. Run and Dunk. Build the wall, man. Build the wall. Don't let him in the paint. Make him shoot. Better chance than the... Yeah, exactly. I don't like the Knicks matchup, dude. I want to stay in 7. Cause Embiid gonna suck ass again. Man, bro. Put user in timeout for being dumb. Bucks fan, 5-minute timeout for being dumb. I gave you the opportunity to elaborate and give an educated explanation on why the Bucks are going to whip the Sixers. Your educated explanation was, cause Embiid gonna suck again. Oh, man. Let's see. Yeah. Timeout you. We're going to timeout you. Who's in here that's actually giving quality comments that can actually bring something to the table, man? Timeout you. Let's see, man. All right, you guys stop arguing with Palesh, man. Give me something. Somebody throw some hot takes in the chat, man. Questions, comments, opinions, anything. If Daryl Morey thinks he's going to sign Paul George, then I believe he's going to sign him. You heard it here first. Oh, you know what, man? I don't want that to happen, but I don't put it past Nick. I don't put it past Daryl Morey. I definitely don't put it past Daryl Morey. You know, he only knows big names. He also doesn't realize that players in their 30s are not good anymore. And I wouldn't put it past him. I don't know what the contract would look like. It can't be lengthy, man. You know, you can't give him 5 years. Sixer fans thinking they can beat Boston is literal definition of delusional. Oh man, bro. Why is it just my channel is just full of Celtics fans, bro? Why me? Why me? Half of my viewers are hate watchers, dude. Half of my viewers can't stand me, but they keep clicking, man. They're always here, man. Let's see, man. How likely are we getting Embiid back by Tuesday? Oh, I think it's very likely. It's listed as April 2nd on the injury report. The practice video, you know, he looks like he's out there. Nick Nurse said he's practicing full contact 5-on-5 now. And I think if he's healthy enough and he got cleared to practice 5-on-5 full contact, I think the next order of business is getting him in NBA games and knocking the rust off, you know? If he's healthy enough to play 5-on-5 practice, like you saw in that video, there's no reason to continue to sit him out because you know he's going to be rusty. You know there's going to be conditioning issues. So you want to get him in there as soon as possible. That's what I think. And if you get him back on Tuesday, that gives you 7 games before the play-in tournament if they stay in the 7th seed or 8th seed or 7th seed. So I think if he's healthy enough to be practicing 5-on-5, I think their goal should be to get him out there as soon as possible. I think it's very, very likely that Joel Embiid plays on Tuesday night. And that sounds insane. Because just a couple of months ago, we thought the season was completely over. Wouldn't it just be hilarious if the fact that Joel Embiid's yearly injury happened early enough for him to get surgery and recover ends up being the best thing that could have happened to this team? Isn't that crazy? He gets hurt every year, right? It was going to happen. It happens every season. Usually it happens way too late. There's no time for surgery, recovery. He ends up playing hurt in the playoffs. And it sucks, but he gets hurt every year. What if it's like he got hurt early enough to have surgery and recover? So now we're good to go? Now we're good to go? Now we got Joel Embiid healthy in the playoffs? Is that the only way to get him healthy in the playoffs, is for him to get hurt soon enough so that he can recover and be back? Oh, man, another user in timeout, man. The trolls are running rampant out here. 404 live viewers on Easter Sunday. 200 of them are trolls. But thank you for being here, man. Josh Hughes, what's up, man? DJ, one of my friends is a Miami fan. We bet $50 at the start of the year on which team finishes higher between Philly and Miami. How do you think my chances look right now? I like them with Joel back soon. Yeah, I think your chances are pretty good. I want the Sixers to land in the 7th seed. I want them to have home court advantage in the play-in game. I want them to win the play-in game, enter the playoffs as the 7th seed, and take on the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round of the NBA playoffs. That's what I want. That's what I want. What else we got, man? I think so. DJ, it sounds crazy, but it seems like it might be the case. Exactly, bro. Exactly. The only way to get Joel Embiid healthy for the playoffs is for him to get hurt early enough in the season that he has time to get surgery and come back. That's crazy, but I think that's a fact. DJ, Celtics fans love you because all Celtics content creators are personality-less, drooling, mumbling, brain-dead morons. Chee! You know what it really is, man? It's that, like, I'm bridging the gap of writers, reporters, and actual fans. And, when you get an actual passionate fan who's become somewhat of a reporter just by making YouTube videos, now there's a clear difference between guys who write for a living and then these companies are like, hey, podcasting is what we need to do. We need you guys on a podcast, and you put these writers on a podcast and they're like, the Sixers won 112 to 110. Kelly Oubre had a good shooting night. Kelly Oubre, what do you think, John? It is the most boring thing you could ever listen to. So, yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. I think it's funny that some people think that I have credibility, or some people think that I am part of the media. This is real. Some people really think this because of the platform that I've built here. They think that I'm like some kind of credible part of the media person. And I'm not at all. I troll. I say things that I think are funny. I make up fake reports. I don't take it that seriously, One time I made a fake report about Ben Simmons, or what did I do? I made a fake report about James Harden's contract this offseason, and Eric Snow, legend Eric Snow, got duped on his own podcast, bro. The host read my tweet, and he was like, this is from Run It Back Philly. This guy's credible. He wouldn't lie about this. I was like, what? Who told you that? I'm the least credible person out here, I just get up here and say my opinion, man. DJ, we know you don't have credibility. You're a fanboy propaganda account. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. The trolls are running rampant. But let them rock. Let them rock. The trolls, I want you to know this, man. I want you to actually know this, trolls. Listen to me and listen closely. I literally pay my bills thanks to you. Bro, I'm living life thanks to you hating me. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing that I can go on UGI.com and pay my heat bill because you can't stop watching me? Oh, man, that's great. Anyway. No, we don't need mods, dude. We don't want to kick out the trolls, man. We need them. We need them. You know? You need you need rain to enjoy the sunshine. You need trolls to enjoy the supporters. I don't know where I'm going with this. What else we got, man? I really don't have anything else to say. This was a completely meaningless game. I mean, it didn't matter whatsoever. I guess if we're trying to get closer to the 7th seed, it mattered a little bit, but the Raptors weren't playing anybody. They suck. They're trying to get to the top of a draft that doesn't have much talent in it. So Tyrese Maxey sat out. I don't know, man. Give me some stuff to reply to in the chat or something, man. Or we'll just go over to Twitter and look at some stuff. Okay, let's go over it. Let's do that. Stop screen. Boom, 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 boom. 418 people in here hanging out, man. You guys are awesome. How was your Easter, man? How was your Easter? How's everything going? Eastwood clip on Jimmy High Roller. He's got no dog in him. Bro, was that my Ben Simmons rant? I still can't believe Jimmy High Roller stole my content, bro, and used it in a video that did multiple millions of views and never gave me credit. That's fraudulent behavior. For those that don't know that story, YouTuber Jimmy High Roller, maybe the biggest NBA YouTuber on the planet. He had a segment of a video where he was talking about Ben Simmons. And he used my voice. And so I was like, yo, what's up with this? Where's, link my video in the comment section at least. Nothing. How do you go to somebody else's YouTube channel and cut out a piece of their content and never even think to say, hey, bro, DM me on Twitter or something. Hey, bro, can I use this for this video? Hell yeah, bro. Just, put my damn YouTube link in the comments. Whatever. Nope. That's fraudulent behavior when you really think about it, right? And then here's what happened. I called him out. His brother sent him the video that I made calling him out, and he DM'd me, and he apologized, and he gave me his phone number, and he was like, hit me up, I'm sorry for stealing that without giving you credit. Hit me up and I'll make it right. And I was like, I don't really want you to do anything, But I called him, and he was mad cool. And he's like, yeah, I'm working on another video. I'm gonna give you a shout out on another video. I think he didn't want me to be talking bad about him on YouTube, So he's like, I'm gonna give you a shout out on a video that I'm making. And I was like, all right, man, whatever, And I was like, hey, how about this, man? Why don't you just come on my show for like 30 minutes, like a straight podcast episode, and give your opinion on the NBA, give your opinion on the Sixers, something like that. And you know what he said to me? He said, I don't do podcasts. And that blew my mind, because I was like, somebody who, at least it appears, talks basketball for a living doesn't do podcasts about basketball. So, by the way, never got the shout out. he just totally ignored that and never gave me the shout out again. So, I feel totally comfortable talking about that because it was a fraudulent move. But he said, I don't do podcasts. And I'm like, so basically, you're good at clipping together highlights and typing up a script and making a really good YouTube video, which he does. But you don't really talk ball, is what you're telling me. And then, for some reason recently, he went on an anti-Joel Embiid rampage, making videos about how Joel Embiid is ruining the NBA and baiting officials and all this bullshit, getting millions of views, slandering the best player in the game, Joel Embiid. So, Jimmy High Roller's a fraud. And that just is what it is. Yeah, there's that story. Robin's in the chat. What's up, Robin? Miami Heat fan. Robin, she refers to herself as the Miami Princess, as you can see right there. She comments on every single video. She replies to every single comment on every single video. And she says, Jimmy can kick your weak team. Spare me, my babe's hero, Cash Butler. You talking Miami Princess. Yeah. I have no idea what you just said, Robin, but you're a sweetheart. I love that you're here. I love that you continue coming back. I'm sorry that we're going to have to take out your Miami Heat in the play-in tournament. That's what's going to happen. But you got to keep that same energy, Robin. All right? When it happens, you got to still keep coming back to the videos and commenting, okay? You can't disappear when Miami gets beaten to play-in. All right? That's the deal. That's the deal we're making. Yo, DJ, keep the content flowing for the real fans. Can't wait to see your reaction to Embiid and Roko's first game back. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I absolutely plan on keeping the content rolling and never stopping and taking it to the moon. Listen, I'm not stopping until I ring the bell at a Sixers game, okay? I promise you that. This content will come out every single day until I ring the bell at a Sixers game. And if they let me ring the bell, somebody fucked up. They almost let me in the media room. All right? Let me tell you guys a secret. You can't tell anyone. All right, well, I'm not going to say the name of the podcast. They know in the Discord. Nobody say it in here. But here's what happened. A reputable Sixers podcast contacted me and said, we want you to host our show because it's boring as shit and the ratings are in the dumps. And I said, all right, let's do it, bro. And being a member of that podcast, I believe would have granted me media access. And somebody made a joke about 2 weeks ago, and they were like, you should be in the media room asking these questions. And I was like, they would never let me in there. And then it actually almost happened. I actually almost ended up with media access. But I never heard from them again. And I think somebody put a hit out. Somebody got jealous, and somebody was like, nah, don't put that guy on, man. And that's fine. Things that are meant to be happen. Things that are not meant to be don't happen. But yeah, somebody didn't want me up in there. Somebody was like, whoa, bro. We can't have this guy on a reputable podcast having media availability, dude. Shit's going to hit the fan. I love it, man. And you know what? Like, I think a lot of people start these types of shows, and their goal is to get the attention of the actual media, and their goal is to, like, join the media. Their goal is to, like, end up on the radio or end up on one of these popular official 76ers licensed podcasts and things like that. But the more I get just by doing this by myself, the more sponsors that come in, the more opportunities that come in, the merch sales, the ad revenue, the more I'm getting to supporting myself without needing the attention of any media or any connections, the less I give a shit about those people liking me. Because I can do it all by myself. I don't need you. I'm like Drake in 2010, bro. I don't need to sign a record deal. And it's all because of you guys. And I love you. Yeah. So that's kind of a fun goal of mine, man. Is to kind of be shunned by the media because they don't like how I say things, because I'm not the proper professional. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, Tobias Harris has improved the last 2 games. Gawk Gawk 3000, the whole team, you know what I mean? So I think it's a fun goal, I think, to make a lot of noise and have the actual media dislike me for keeping it real. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing. What else we got, man? Celtics, Sixers in the first round. Nah, it's the Bucks. Sixers, Bucks. That's what's happening. It would be great hearing you ask them questions. They wouldn't be. Dude, somebody called me. Somebody on my Instagram was like, the new Howard Eskin is being negative again. And I was like, that's a compliment. If I'd end up in the media room, that's exactly what I would be. I would be the new Howard Eskin. Daryl Morey would see me and he would immediately roll his eyes and be like, oh, shit, here we go. Here we go. And I wouldn't be like, Daryl, what assessments did you make that led you to signing Mo Bamba? I'd be like, Daryl, the fans want to know why you sat around all summer begging James Harden to come back and didn't improve the team. You know what I'm saying? That's what would happen. They would kick me out real fast, man. I think the Sixers will not lose a game anymore. We'll go 16-0 in the playoffs and be the best championships in the history of the league. When I went to church today, that's what I prayed for in church. Bro, do you know how much of a Sixers sicko you got to be to go to church on Easter Sunday? And you could pray for anything in the world. You could pray to solve world hunger. You could pray to end wars. You could actually try to use it to save lives. And you're in church on Easter Sunday praying that the Philadelphia 76ers become the best champions in the history of the league. Playing a game that somebody made up, throwing a peach in a basket. That is Sixers sicko material. And I respect it. Yeah. Amanda, what's up? Hey, DJ, after last year's playoffs, would you rather have Jamal Murray or Tyrese Maxey? I can't answer that because Tyrese Maxey's 23. So you can't really look at last year's playoffs and say, this is what Jamal Murray did, this is what Tyrese Maxey did, and I'll take Jamal Murray because he was better in the playoffs. Tyrese was 22 and was playing second fiddle to James Harden and was still, and he is still, learning how to step up in the clutch, learning how to have the confidence to put the team on his back, and I've seen it so many times this season. He's got it now. I don't even question it anymore. And so my answer is no, because I think Tyrese Maxey is going to become an NBA superstar. And I think what you're seeing him do at 23 is already remarkable. And there's no reason for me to believe that at 27 Tyrese Maxey's not going to be an NBA superstar. There's no reason for me, So I think his ceiling is higher than Jamal Murray's ceiling. Yeah. There's my take on that. Finally, I can talk. That was the longest 5 minutes of my life. We are going to clap the Bucks. The Heat ain't standing a chance. Let's go. Wade, you got timed out? What happened? Oh, you just subscribed. Hey, thank you for subscribing to the channel, Wade. I'm sorry you had to wait 5 minutes, which is another thing. I set the chat to subscribers only, and you have to subscribe and wait 5 minutes. So the trolls are actually subscribing and waiting 5 minutes just to jump in the chat. That's dedication. That's dedication to trolling. Somebody said, where's 21 average at, bro? 21, can you do something for me? 21, can you do something for me? Anyway, he said, are we doing members only live stream? We're going to do the members only live stream tomorrow night because we keep getting these Sunday games. The idea was to do them on Sundays. But I'm cool tomorrow night. If everybody else is cool tomorrow night, I'll post it in the Discord. I'll post it on the community post, and we'll do the members only live stream tomorrow night. It's going to be right here on StreamYard. There will be an open link, and basically it works as a roundtable discussion. And everybody clicks the link. Everybody comes up on the screen, and we just have a sicko party, man. We just talk about the Sixers and topics and everything like we're chilling, sitting at a bar. You know what I mean? That's the idea. That is the members-only live stream. If you want to join that, all you got to do is become a member of the channel. $5 a month. I spent more than that at Starbucks this morning. I'm trying not to do that anymore. But yeah, become a member of the channel. Join the members-only live stream. We're going to do it tomorrow night. All right? Yeah. Wadington. If Embiid scores another double-double if he plays, what does this mean to you? Does this mean something? If Embiid scores another double-double if he plays, what does this mean to you? What does that mean? Joel's coming back and he's going to dominate. That's the answer to that. And he averaged a 35 and 10, 35 and 11. Joel Embiid, bro, this is a guy that, listen, I'm telling you, man. When Embiid, Covington, and Melt comes back, who do you send to the G League? This team gets deep fast. They do get deep fast. And I think we got to then ask a question. Who's better? Cameron Payne or DeAnthony Melton? That's a question we got to ask. Because we like DeAnthony Melton for his hustle, his defense, his rebounding ability. He's a 40% three-point shooter, usually. But he's a terrible ball handler. He's a terrible decision maker in a point guard situation. And he can't make a layup. And you look at Cameron Payne, and you say, maybe not as good of a defender, maybe not as good of a rebounder, maybe not that Mr. Do-Something attitude that, actually, I think he does have the Mr. Do-Something attitude. Much better ball handler, a million times better point guard, much better playmaker, and way better finishing at the rim. So my question is, when DeAnthony Melton is healthy, should he even play over Cam? Nick has some figuring out to do, because I think that's a tough one. But yeah, it could be matchup based. But yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think I'm taking Cameron Payne over DeAnthony Melton, though. I will say that. DJ, are you credentialed to go to the press conferences? We need someone who will ask real questions and not tossing softballs. No, I was just telling a story that I almost became credentialed by a legitimate Sixers podcast that reached out to me. But somebody put a hit out. Somebody didn't want it to happen. But that's fine. Things that are meant to happen, happen. Things that are not meant to happen, do not happen. We're not in control here, guys. We're just in the universe, and things are happening. I just got all Jim Carrey on you, didn't I? All right, listen, I've been rambling up here for a while. I can't believe there's still 425 people listening to me. Thank you all for coming through. Sixers win. It's a victory, so it deserves a celebration. I'm out.